This is an article from liveabout.com entitled Astral Projection, Doorway to a New Dimension by Stephen Wagner. This article was contributed by Jerry Gross. The concept of astral projection has been around for a long time, but until today, it has been hidden from most of humanity. Now, with the aid of astral projection, new levels of knowledge and power enable us to discover the answer to man's eternal question about life in the physical body. Death takes on a new meaning as we begin to realize that it is only a transition to another dimension or place of existence. By learning to astral project, we can learn many things about ourselves and unlearn many things that were previously thought to be true. This leads us to the realization that our physical bodies are only a part of our entire selves, and there is more to our existence than meets the eye. In our limited awareness, the reality we live and breathe on Earth, with its beautiful landscapes, mountains, rivers, streams, animals, and insects, can be compared with the petals on a flower. What we see is not the whole flower, but only a part. This is because man has lost touch with the use of his own mind. He concludes, erroneously, that the physical world is the only reality there is. He believes that his life as an individual has only to do with the flesh body of himself, and concludes that the physical world is solid and real because his senses tell him it quote-unquote feels solid and real. The mind has abilities that go beyond the five senses of the physical world. The petal of the flower that we now experience is the material world or physical plane of existence. It has a specific vibration, just as all creatures on this level vibrate at the same rate. Because of this, regardless of where we go on this level, all things take on the appearance of being solid, material objects. Just as the colors of the rainbow show the effects of the different vibrations of light, and the melodies on the piano show the effect of the different notes, so too does the entire universe contain various octaves or rates of vibration. These universal harmonics comprise the different levels of existence. So the earth plane we live on is only one of many dimensions. There are other spheres that we describe as being above or below us. Actually, they are not really above or below us, but rather at all times around us, permeating all things. Astral projection allows us to discover that the people and objects existing in these other realms can be just as solid and real as any object on the earth terrain. And if we happen to be on another level, looking back quote-unquote down into this region, we would view an earth that was not solid. Right now, at every instant, we are living, coexisting with, and walking through people and objects of another dimension. When a person astral projects, he or she can see these other frontiers. Our astral bodies. When we were born into the physical world, we were provided with a physical body to carry out our duties. Astral projection allows us to project quote-unquote out of the body and into the next plane of existence, which is the astral plane. When we do this, we are in another body, which is called the astral body. We already possess this astral body, just as all other people, animals, creatures, and everything on Earth possess an astral body. The astral body has some amazing properties. Unlike the physical body, which is held down by gravity, the astral body can overcome this limitation by the effort of thought alone. While out of the body, we can not only walk around as if in the physical, but also soar above the trees or go out into space. Another property of the astral body is that it cannot be injured. One of the greatest fears while on Earth is pain or injury. While out of the body, this normal human reaction can be unlearned because there is absolutely nothing that will cause damage to the astral body. In the next dimension, fire, knives, guns, falling from great heights, electrical shocks, disease, wild animals, or being run over by a steamroller can do no harm. Many people receive lessons about this in their dreams. Watch for them, because you'll discover that you always survive, don't you? In this next level of existence, which all of us can visit, there are many familiar things, such as cars, trains, planes, and highways. Everything that is on this earth right now comes from the astral plane. Many people get this backward. They think the astral dimension was molded from Earth. The truth is, the Earth was fashioned from the ideas and discoveries which originated on the astral. When we are out of the body, communication is accomplished by thought. Another word for this is telepathy. In other words, it is not necessary to move our lips in order to be heard. Although we can do this if we wish. Sometimes, when we hear what we think is just a thought, this could actually be someone communicating to us from the astral. This next plane of existence has been sought after, researched, and argued about by philosophers and religious people from time immemorial. Until now, it has remained elusive and has evaded discovery to all but the most diligent. The individual who looks within instead of without, who looks to correct his own imperfections, and who treats others as he wishes to be treated will have the door of discovery swing wide open for him. Conquering our fears. When we begin to explore this, we must first overcome the obstacle of fear, which will present itself in many forms. The fear of death, pain, injury, the unknown, evil, devils, hell, and Satan may loom up before us. We must conquer our own fears head on, and they will rapidly disappear. We are mental creators, and out of the ether of the next dimension, we can create that which we wish around us. If we are convinced a devil is out there to trick or deceive us, and if we have already pictured in our minds what this devil looks like and what he plans on doing, we should really not be surprised when our worst fears are confirmed. The devils we create become real and solid in the next dimension because we created them. In the astral plane, we can meet those we love, or that which we fear. If we have no fear, we won't meet fear. It's as simple as that. So we can save ourselves trouble by putting nonsense like that out of our mind. Remember, there is nothing that can harm us while we are out of our bodies. This teaching of fear has held people in mental bondage long enough. Its exposure is sure to cause a fury in those who have become trapped in the habit of their own thinking. We must release ourselves from the death grip of fear and set ourselves free. In the astral plane, we can also visit our loved ones who have passed on before us. We can then ask them face to face how they like their new surroundings. We can see schools and universities, and may even find ourselves in a classroom listening to a lecture. This is also where we can discover the history of the world and the history of our lives. The quote-unquote Hall of Records contains our present lives as well as our past. In it are recorded our accomplishments and our failures. We can meet our spiritual teachers, which the churches have termed our quote-unquote guardian angels, and we can ask them for advice and guidance on our problems. The astral plane is a vast dimension of existence and contains life in abundance. It does not operate by the very same laws of the earth plane, and so many things that are quite impossible on earth are quite commonplace in the astral. Mind over matter is common, colors are more beautiful, and we may experience endless fascination with new and exciting things that there are to see and discover. For many centuries, the teachings of certain churches have been that some things are mysteries and are not to be questioned. Eve eating from the tree of knowledge and the subsequent expulsion from the Garden of Eden was cited as proof. This erroneous interpretation was made by those who were ignorant, or by those who wanted to keep the masses of people in subjugation. Man's redemption, in the final analysis, will come from his knowledge of himself and his love of his neighbor, not from his ignorance. Tapping the subconscious. The astral plane contains many things that are not on Earth at this time. Some of them may appear in the future on Earth, and some are from the Earth's past. Many different types of animals that have become extinct on Earth exist in the astral. Remember, there is no death. Astral projection enables us to use the part of our mind that has been dormant or sleeping. We can wake up this part and put it to work. It is called the subconscious, and it can be used to give us the knowledge we need to find out more about ourselves, our purpose on Earth, and our relationship with God. Most people think of their mind as only that portion they recognize as their conscious mind or waking mind. It has been said that the mind is 10% conscious and 90% subconscious. We can learn to expand this 10%. Everyone goes to the astral plane at night while they are asleep. Think of this. Astral projection takes place without a person even being aware of it. As strange and hard to believe as this sounds, it is true. To begin exploring astral projection, pay attention to your dreams each night. Eventually, you will come to the realization that you were in the astral plane, but did not realize it. When we take the first step of allowing for the possibility of multiple dimensions in astral projection as realities, we can then focus on ways to understand, explore, and actually experience these things. In doing so, we can open the door to an amazing and expansive existence that was heretofore beyond our wildest imagination.